There's a man, late 30s, maybe 40s, who looks completely fine from the outside. He goes to work, he pays what he has to pay, he answers the messages. But every so often, an old classmate's name comes up with the company, the title, the second house, the family photo, and something tightens in his chest. It isn't jealousy, not exactly. It's quieter than that. It's a question he never says out loud. What did they understand about life that I didn't? Did everyone else become a man before I did? He doesn't say it. He drives home, handles what's in front of him, and files the feeling somewhere he doesn't visit. Carl Jung wouldn't call this failure. He'd call it a man who hasn't finished becoming himself. This isn't really a story about being late. It's the psychology of men who succeed late in life. Most people build an identity fast. They look around, sense what earns approval, and shape themselves toward it. Jung had a word for that outward shape, the persona, the mask you wear for the world. For a lot of men, the mask fits well enough, and they move through their 20s with momentum, collecting the things that look like a life. Early success very often is just early adaptation. You learned the part quickly and played it well. But some men can't get the mask to sit right. They take the job that looks perfect on paper, and somewhere around Sunday night, a weight settles on their chest they can't explain. Not because the job is hard, because something in them keeps quietly refusing to put its full weight on a life that feels borrowed. So he hesitates. He starts things and stops them. He leaves the good job for something that pays less, and even he can't fully explain it. From the outside, it looks like a man who can't get it together. From the inside, it's simpler. A man cannot build on a foundation he secretly rejects. He didn't lack ambition. He lacked a life he could actually believe in. And those years, the wandering, the false starts, the jobs that didn't fit, they look like nothing, like wasted time. But Jung saw something else happening underneath. While other men were busy building visible structures, he was building one no one could see. He was asking, years too early, the questions most people avoid until midlife. Who am I, really? What part of this is mine? And what did I just inherit? What am I only doing for approval? Jung called that slow work of becoming yourself individuation. And for some men, it happens in exactly the years that look, from the outside, like falling behind. It isn't really why some men succeed late. It's what would have happened if they had succeeded before they became themselves. Early success can lock a man inside a life that was never his, a ladder climbed to the top only to find it leaning against the wrong wall. But none of this is automatic, and it's worth being honest about that. The delay doesn't make a man strong on its own, it can just as easily poison him. The envy that tightens when a friend pulls ahead, the shame of feeling behind, the slow resentment that hardens over years into a quiet hatred of his own life. Some men reach 60 still measuring themselves against a timeline that was never theirs. The danger was never the delay. The danger is bitterness. In Jung's language, that bitterness becomes part of the shadow, the rejected pain that starts running a man from underneath. What finally decides it isn't what happened in those years, it's the story he tells himself about them. The men who make it through tell a truer one. They stop reading the lost years as proof that something is wrong with them and start reading them as how they were built. And then, somewhere in the second half of life, something settles. The urgency goes quiet, not the ambition, just the desperation to prove it. Decisions that used to take months of inner argument come clean. He chooses the work he used to avoid choosing. He stops chasing every path and starts committing to one that finally feels like his. The same seriousness that once made him slow now makes him dangerous. He speaks less and means more. He isn't louder than he used to be. He's heavier. People feel it before they can name it, and they tend to call it confidence. It isn't. It's coherence. The same man at work, at home, under pressure when no one is watching. Jung's idea was simple. You cannot live the second half of life by the rules of the first. The roots had been spreading where no one could see, holding the weight of a height the tree had not reached yet. The success, when it comes, doesn't consume him the way early success sometimes does. It expresses something that was finally real. So maybe you were never behind. Maybe the years that looked late were the years that kept you from building a life you would have eventually hated. Maybe your real life only started once the version of you that wasn't yours stopped working. If any part of this felt like something you have carried without the words for it, tell me in the comments. There are more men walking this same long road than you would think.